Welcome back, everyone. We're real excited to be back with you here. We are ready to start Series 160. We've had a great run of games so far. Game 7 series going down, I think, the last three or so. And we're continuing on here with some exciting baseball. And even more exciting today because we are using for the first time the new game of Out of the Park Baseball. It's Out of the Park Baseball 21. Just came out this week. I encourage you to check it out if you haven't. A lot of upgrades, a better feel, obviously the new team. So we're going to give it a spin here and see how it goes. Um, this is the beta version, so the official game not out yet until this Friday, depending on when you're listening to this video. But for sure, we're excited to use it here for the first time for Series 160 between two teams that are about 100 years apart. And what better player and team to start us off and inaugurate Out of the Park Baseball 21 than the Babe himself. Babe Ruth will make an appearance in this series, and we're excited for it. So let me introduce the teams here so we get a feel about what we're going to see here in this series. And we'll introduce first from 2012, John Farrell's Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays lost 89 games. 173, fourth in the American League East. And looking at their team, a few years away from being really competitive, the Blue Jays had some pop in their bats. Edwin Encarnacion, you can see here, blasted 42 long ones, hit 280, slugged 557, along with Jose Bautista, who hit 27 bombs, only 65 ribbies. I think the high variety for him was solo shots and only hit 241. But still a threat. Colby Rasmus, 23 home runs for him. He obviously has some pop. So those three players in the outfield really, or two in the outfield and the DH really providing the power. But there's also Rajah Davis here, who stole 46 bases. He struck out quite a bit, but still, when he did get on base, he would make some things happen. You get the all-hustle Brett Lawrie on this team. From there, you also have Adam Lind is on this team. We have Kelly Johnson at second base, and Yulno Escobar hit 253 in this lineup. So even 45-year-old Omar Vizquel on the bench there, I doubt we'll see much of him. So a lot of long balls, a lot of pop on this team, but the averages weren't very high. You'll notice here nobody even hit over 300. You also notice, obviously, the on-base low as well. So too dependent maybe on the home runs, explains a lot for this Blue Jays team. So they might hit some dry spells if the home run isn't there. For the pitching, Henderson Alvarez, you can see there, 9-14 with his high 4.85 ERA. Ricky Romero even higher at 5.77. So you can see here pitching, especially starting pitching, is an issue for the Blue Jays. Brandon Morrow, before he moved to the pen, 10-7. He was quite good in his 21 starts. Also 3 shutouts for Morrow, so very good. Aaron Laffey, 4-6, along with Kyle Drabick and Drew Hutchinson, the 3 arms there that really kind of spread the starts out. Carlos Villanueva, his mustache and all, also got some starts. And Casey Janssen, the closer, with 22 saves, a good, pretty decent year for Jansen. But the starting pitching wasn't great. You can see here losing records, and other than Morrow, not much going on as far as consistency. We can see here Francisco Cordero, Brett Cecil, some of the arms out of the pen. So the Jays, kind of a work in progress. They're not quite where they want to be. But there is some talent on the team, and in a short series, they should be fairly formidable. However, their opposition is not going to be an easy opponent. It's going to be the 1919 Boston Red Sox, 66-71, led by Ed Barrow. The Red Sox won it all in 18, and they came back in 19. 66-71. They actually had a losing record. They finished 6th in the American League. So a down year for the Red Sox, which obviously forced the hand of ownership, and they made the infamous trade of Babe Ruth for a Broadway show. If you don't know history, the Curse of the Bambino started here. So this is actually Ruth's final season as a Red Sox, a rarity. We'll see Ruth in the red and white of Boston, actually playing the outfield and hitting. This didn't last very long, as 1 year later he was gone. And really, the Red Sox making the decision here to transition Ruth from pitching to hitting to get that bat in the lineup every single day. So Ruth, of course, all the legend that goes along with him. He's in his prime here, 24 years old, 29 and 13 for the power numbers, 29 home runs, 113 RBIs. The 29 home runs may not seem like a lot, but in 1919, that was the all-time record Ruth set, and it was also more than many teams hit that year. So Ruth really changing the game in itself. Slug 657, 1.114 OPS, and that was in only 130 games. So Ruth coming into his own, a big figure, and he's going to play a big role in this series. Along with Ruth, you got Harry Hooper there at 31. He hit 267 also in the outfield with Ruth, 25 doubles. Some other maybe talent here. Stuffy McGinnis, 305 at first base, 59 RBIs for him. He's a decent player. Wally Shang, a very good catcher. He hit 306 with 52 RBIs. From there, it gets pretty thin. Everett Scott, Ozzie Vitt, and Braggle Roth. Not much pop at all. The average is in the 250s or so. And Amos Strunk off the bench. He got in 48 games. Not much from him as a pinch hitter. So other than really Ruth and maybe McGinnis, the offense pretty weak. And you can see why maybe the Red Sox struggled a bit this year. As for their pitching, sad Sam Jones, 12 and 20, a very hard luck pitcher because his ERA wasn't that bad. His performances weren't that bad. He had a 375. Herb Pennick, much better, 16 and 8 for him, 271 in his 26 starts. He limited the damage, did well. The whip at 1.23. Carl Mays, 5 and 11. Also very hard luck. He pitched well with the 247. And there's the Babe. He actually started in 12 games. I doubt we'll see him, but you never know how the series goes. Obviously, the Babe can go both ways. And Ruth was an outstanding pitcher in his own right. But obviously, they transitioned early in the season and put him in the outfield. So we should see Ruth in the lineup every day. Will we see him pitch? Be interesting to see if we do. Alan Russell and Ray Caldwell, some of the other arms that got starts on this team. Bill James, he's another arm that maybe we'll see out of the pen, along with George Dumont, Bob McGraw. So these are some players that didn't rack up a bunch of innings, but maybe are there for some support. 6 pitchers used to start quite a number of games for the Red Sox. That's a high number, but I'm sure we'll see Jones, Pennick, and Mays for the most part, and the Red Sox will try to get some runs to support their pitching staff. So that's our matchup for 160. I really think it's a good one, an exciting one. Anytime you get to see Ruth in his prime, it's going to be fun to watch. And of course, the Blue Jays, with some of their pitching issues, might have to really be careful with Ruth in this series. But of course, the Jays can hit for power as well. So I'm guessing we're going to see quite a few long balls in this series. It's a best of 7. We're looking at things here. The first 2 games are going to be in brand new Fenway Park in Boston. From there, we'll move to Rogers Center for the middle portion of the series. Should be exciting. Getting ready to start it off here. Game 1 is going to present Brandon Morrow for the Blue Jays, indeed, against Herb Pennick. An interesting Game 1 matchup from Fenway Park. So the stage is set. A new game for us out of the Park Baseball 21. Glad you're with us. Again, it's the 1919 Boston Red Sox against the 2012 Toronto Blue Jays. Ready for the action. Let's head out to Fenway Park. So here we are at Fenway Park, live here with the action. Glad you're with us. We got Rajah Davis up here with a full count up in the first inning. Going to customize the view a little bit here. Try to get the best experience possible. And we are ready to go. So Rajah Davis facing Herb Pennick to start off the ball game. here in the first inning. Best of 7 between these two teams. The action ready to go. Here's the delivery. Davis strikes out swinging to start the game. Swings and misses on the Pennock pitch. He chased the bad one there. So we'll move bottom of the first. And here's the Babe. He's up with 2 men on. Nobody out. A big spot for Ruth. And the Babe hits it deep to center field. Wouldn't you know it? Off the top of the wall there in center field. Ball's going to get back in there. Ruth with a double. How about it? The Babe comes out quickly. And it's 1-0 thanks to the Babe Ruth double. 4-0. The Red Sox put 4 up in that frame. And we move now to the third. So Ruth making his name known right off the bat. Here's Barry up here with 1 out in the inning. He hits the shot deep to left field over the wall. See you later. The foghorns going off in Boston. 5-0 the score. Jack Barry with a solo home run to left field, and Boston all over Toronto here in this one. Here's Tuffy McGinnis. A new pitcher's come in now. It's Luis Perez. And this one's lifted deep to left field. Is it another one? It is! Another home run for Boston. It is McGinnis who sends it over the wall. 7-0 Boston. They are all over the Blue Jays. Getting it done here in a big way. We'll move to the 7th. Yes, fans, it is 9-0 now. Rajah Davis facing Pennock, who's still in this ball game. Pennock pitching very well up to now, but Davis will get a big hit here. This will be extra bases for him. So Rajah Davis with a double here. Trying to avoid the shutout. It's really the best right now that the Blue Jays can hope for. Jose Bautista the hitter. It's 9-2. We've moved all the way to the 9th. Dumont is the pitcher. He delivers. And this ball is popped up. Should be playable. Coming out to get it. The first baseman, McGinnis, has got it. And Boston takes care of the Blue Jays in game 1, 9-2. They do it fairly comfortably here. Taking it with their bats, with their home runs. They hit 2 of them. Barry and McGinnis went deep. Pennock pitched into the 8th inning and pitched very well at that with 9 strikeouts, 2 earned runs allowed. Stuffy McGinnis 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs in this ball game. And the Babe 3 for 4. No homers for him, but 2 doubles. A great game for Ruth to start things off. And Boston flexing their muscles in game 1 and winning it 9-2. So a good start for Boston. Toronto didn't really know what hit him. They got hit hard there. Brandon Morrow got hit hard early and often. And the Red Sox now take a 1-0 lead in this series. We can see here the starters scheduled for game 2. It's Kyle Drabick against Carl Mays. Let's see if Boston can do it again and take a 2-0 lead, or will Toronto try to right the ship and especially get a better pitching performance, as the pressure will be on Drabick. See if the youngster can get it done. So let's head out live again to Fenway Park. It is game 2 of this best of 7. Boston and Toronto ready to go. Let's head to the action. Game number 2, here we go. Babe Ruth now up there with a man on in the very first inning. Here's the delivery to Babe, and Ruth hits it deep to center again. This one's going to get down all the way to the wall. And Ruth has a triple, it looks like. And it's 1-0 Boston. Ruth comes through here in the first inning to put Boston up 1-0. And Wally Shang now, I should say Brett Lawrie now up as we move to the 4th inning. A runner on first. Mays has pitched well in this ball game. Here's a line shot to center field again. This ball's going to get down. Runner moving to third. He's going to try to score. Now we'll hold up at third base. So it's 2nd and 3rd for Boston here in the 4th inning as they threaten. Encarnacion in a big spot. The pitch from Mays. This ball hit to first base. Play made by the first baseman. That's going to score a run, it looks like. And it's 1-1 in this ball game. Bautista now the hitter with 1 out and a man on third base. Bautista strikes out swinging, so he can't come through. That's 8 strikeouts for Mays. We move now to the bottom of the 4th. Barry up with Strunk on third. And Barry lines a single to center field, so that's going to put Boston right back up. 2-1 our score as Strunk singles to center. And Harry Hooper's the hitter with 2 on now and nobody out here in the 5th inning. Hooper hits it deep to left field. This ball's got some carry into the night. Goodbye home run. Hooper with the 3-run homer. Boston takes control again. It's 5-1 Red Sox. They've taken control here in the 5th inning. To the 9th we go at 7-1, 2 outs. Dumont facing Colby Rasmus with men on the corner. This ball's hit to short. Play made the short way, and that will do it. The Red Sox win Game 2 7-1, controlling just like they did in Game 1. The outcome very, very comfortably. They take a 2-0 games lead in this series. Mays was very, very good in Game 2. He struck out 11 for Boston. Harry Hooper 1 for 2 with that big 3-run home run. That came in the 5th inning. And Ruth 1 for 3. He had the RBI in the 1st inning, and he's off to a expectedly good start in this series. Drabik takes the loss, and it's been Toronto pitching that's really, really suffered in the first 2 games of the series. And Boston in complete control now, 2-0 as this series now moves up north to Canada. And the Blue Jays really need to rebound at home or face further disaster. They will send Ricky Romero to the mound to face Ray Caldwell in Game 3. Boston again has won the first 2 games comfortably. Looking at Game 3, let's see if Toronto can show some life. The venue changes, the environment changes, the country changes for that matter. So heading out to the Rogers Center, it's time for Game 3. Boston really, really needs a win. I should say Toronto really, really needs a win as Boston already 2-0 up. So let's see if the Blue Jays respond. Off to Toronto we go for Game 3. Three at the Rogers Center. We are ready to go. It's the 1st inning, a 3-2 count here on Wally Shang, who's facing Romero. No, of course, Boston up 2-0. Here's the delivery. This ball's hit to center field. It is going to be caught out there. 1 away. See if we can fix the view a little bit here. Should be a little bit better. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Yunel Escobar up with 2 on. And the pitch. Strike out there. That's a swing and a miss. So Escobar goes down swinging. And now it's Stuffy McGinnis with 2 on and 2 out. Here's the pitch. This ball's hit to center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Round in third's Babe Ruth. Here comes the throw. Ruth, save! He beats the throw. Good hustle by Ruth, and it's 1-0 Boston. They take the lead here in the 3rd. We move bottom of the 4th. Tying run on third base. Colby Rasmus at the plate. And Rasmus takes ball 4. That ball is a little bit low. So we got runners on 1st and 3rd. Escobar's the hitter. And Escobar hits this one too short. Play made at 2nd. They get the out, and that will do it for the inning. Retiring the side, it remains 1-0 Boston. As we move to the 5th, Kelly Johnson facing Caldwell here. Nobody out. It's a 3-2 pitch. And that is a bit low. He checked his swing. So runner heads to first base as Toronto desperately looks for the tie. Rajah Davis, the hitter. Davis hits this one up the middle. That's a nice diving play, but the ball's going to get through for a base hit. No chance to make a throw, so it's an infield hit there. We got runners first and second for Brett Lowry. Caldwell trying to work out of this one. Here's the pitch. This ball's hit high to center field. Should be caught. It is. Nice play there by Strunk. And Encarnacion, the hitter now. Encarnacion also goes to center field. That ball's hit and caught out there. Easy play for Strunk. That's out number 2. And Jose Bautista now with 2 outs. Caldwell trying to work out of it. Here's the pitch. That's low for ball 4. So the Blue Jays will have the bases loaded here in the 5th inning. A huge spot for them. And Adam leaned at the plate. Let's see if he comes through. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This ball's hit to center field on the run. The ball's got some carry. It is going to be caught. A great leaping catch out there by Strunk. He makes it with the bases loaded, saving it. Strunk with great coverage, breaking on the ball very, very well. And Boston remains 1-0 in the lead as we move bottom of the 6th. Caldwell pitching to Colby Rasmus. 2-2 pitch here. This ball's lined up the middle for a single, so with 1 out, Rasmus gets a hit. But we'll move top of the 7th. Boston trying to extend here. Everett Scott up there with 2 men on. And this ball's lined to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. All the way home to score another run for Boston, and they take the lead 2-0 as Everett Scott gets an RBI single. 2-zip our score, and Harry Hooper now a chance to extend it even farther. A 2-2 pitch, and that's lined to center field. That's going to get down. Runner heading for third. He's going to try to score. Here comes the throw. Gonna be late. 3-0 Boston. They come through as Hooper gets a single. 3-zip our score to the bottom of the 7th. Rajah Davis facing Caldwell, who's been brilliant today. And this ball's hit deep down the line to left. That's to the wall. That could be. It is gone. Home run. Goodbye home run. 3-1 our scores. The fireworks go off here at Rogers Center. Toronto's on the board. And to the 8th we go. Amos struck up there now facing Aaron Loop, who's the new pitcher for Toronto. It's the lefty's turn, and that's flying to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Strunk now 2 for 4 in this ball game. Bottom of the 8th, Jose Bautista up facing Bush, and 3-2 the count. Nobody out. 3-1 our score. This is another walk, so Bautista gets on again. And the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Adam Lind and Bullet Joe Bush, the man at the helm here, pitching. And this ball's hit to center field, but doesn't look like it's going to carry. Should be caught out there. It is. First out of the 8th inning. Arancibia now the hitter. Bush delivers. This ball's hit to left. It's got some carry, but getting over there's the left fielder. He's got it. Babe Ruth makes the play. We move to the 9th inning now. Here's the Babe. 1-2 the count, and the pitch from Aaron Loop. This ball's hit deep to right field. Way back. Could it be? The Babe hits this ball way out of here. It's 4-1 our score. He goes near the upper deck there in center field. What a blow by the Babe. He smoked it, and it is 4-1. Ruth coming through, his first home run of the series coming here in Game 3. And we move now bottom of the 9th, 4-1 our score. Paul Musser is the pitcher against Kelly Johnson. Here's a line shot. There's a base hit just off the glove of the first baseman. So he's on first base now with 1 out as Toronto desperately tries to get back. They really don't want to go down 3-0, but it's looking tough. This is hit to short, play at second, relay to first. There you have it. Boston comes into the Rogers Center and takes another game. They win this one 4-1, taking it and getting a commanding lead in this series 3-0. They win this one. More great pitching by Boston. Ray Caldwell this time, 7 innings, 1 earned runs with 4 walks, but he struck out 2. Didn't really get hurt too bad. And Ricky Romero, 5 innings, and he takes the loss for Toronto. Rajah Davis, 3 for 5. He had a homer and an RBI. The Babe hit a home run for Boston. That was crucial. And the 2 runs in the 7th inning were also important as Boston built a 3-0 lead before the Davis homer, and they closed it out with Musser getting the save. So Boston rolling along, doing an outstanding job here. It is 3 games in a row that they won. Almost insurmountable odds now for Toronto to try to get back. They just haven't had anything in the series whatsoever. They've been quite listless, and now it looks all curtains for them unless they get something really going. Looking at some of the numbers already, you can see Ruth 5 for 11 in the series, hitting .455. And obviously, the hitting for the Red Sox doing very, very well so far. Stuffy McGinnis, Amos Strunk, and even Mays, the pitcher, obviously, had quite a game when he went 1 for 3 in his game with an RBI. So hitters like Bautista, Encarnacion really struggling for Toronto. Part of the story here, as well as the Boston pitching doing the job. So Game 3 now. Sad Sam Jones won't be sad if he can close out this series. Let's see if he can do just that. Henderson Alvarez, the last chance here for Toronto. They're going to want to salvage some pride here in Game 4 and try to win their first game. 1 game at a time is all they can do, and Boston's going to try to sweep this away. Let's see if they can do it. Game 4 coming up. Will it be a sweep for the Red Sox? Let's find out and head out to the Rogers Center. So back again, Rogers Center, top of the first inning. Wally Shang, the hitter. Carlos Villanueva is on the mound. He's getting the start for the Jays. And this one's hit. Back to the pitcher. He makes the play for the out. So we're in the 2nd inning now. 2 on for Frank Gilhooly. Gilhooly will hit this one to short. Play made at second. Really the first double play by the Jays. That'll end and retire the side. Still scoreless here at Rogers Center. Bottom of the 3rd. Rajah Davis up with the man on second. And he takes a pitch high. That'll be ball 4. Brett Lowry, the hitter now. Lowry hits it slowly to short. They'll make a play at second. Relay to first. And it is a double play, so that'll retire the side. Our game remains scoreless to the 5th. Chuck Berry facing Brett Cecil here, and this ball's outside, so Berry gets the walk. So with a 1 out, Boston has 2 on, and catcher Wally Shang up there. And we got a balk called. So a balk is called on Cecil. The runners are going to advance. 2nd and 3rd now, and Shang has the chance to do something here, but he strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. A big strikeout there, and Everett Scott now a chance with 2 out. He hits it to first. The play will be made there. Easy play by Lean, so our game remains 0-0 here in Game 4 to the 6th inning. Ruth on first, Hooper the hitter. Jason Frazier the pitcher, and there's a walk. Just misses the outside corner, so with nobody out, Boston has 2 on. Stuffy McGinnis at the plate. McGinnis will hit this one to center field. Fairly deep. Catch is made. Runners cannot advance. So 1 out as Rasmus comes down with it, and Amos Strunk is our hitter. That ball gets away. We got a wild pitch here. Runners will advance. So Frazier now has to be careful here. Here's the pitch. There's a strikeout. Strunk strikes out at the plate. And with 2 outs now, it's Ozzie Vitt facing Frazier. And Vitt takes one high, so that's ball 4. So Boston with the bases loaded here in the 6th. There's no score. Gilhooly at the plate facing Jason Frazier. 2 outs. And there's a ball. So that is ball 4, walking in Babe Ruth, and Boston takes the lead 1-0 here in the 6th inning. And Jack Berry at the plate now as Boston goes out on top. This one's hit to short. Play will be made at second to end the frame, but Boston gets on the board on the walk. It is 1-0 here in Game 4. Bottom of the 6th as Brett Lowry's at the plate. Jones delivers. This ball is lifted to left field for a single. Base hit for Lowry. And Encarnacion is our hitter. He hits it to third. Play will be made there. So we got the out at second. Lowry now at second base. Jose Bautista, the hitter, with 2 outs. This ball's hit fairly well here into the corner, but it is caught. So that'll end the frame, and Boston remains on top here, 1-0, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Colby Rasmus at the plate facing Jones. This ball's hit deep to center field, way back there. It is going to be caught near the track to retire the side. Just too much lift on that pitch, or on that hit. And now, 8th inning, Harry Hooper. Still 1-0 Boston. Jesse Chavez is the pitcher. This ball is lifted to right field. It's going to be a base hit out there. So 2 on now for Ozzie Vitt. 1 out. And this ball's lined to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Let's see if they send the runner. They will. Here comes the throw. Too late. 2-0 Red Sox on the RBI single by Vitt. Boston up now 2-0. We move now further into the inning, and Wally Shang up with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Morrow has come in the pitch, and this ball's hit to center field. It is going to drop. That's going to score another run. 3-0 Boston. Shang has another RBI. Here's Everett Scott as Boston's breaking it wide open here in Game 4. This ball's hit to left field. It's going to be caught. Well, actually, no, over the wall. We got an error out there by Davis. I thought he had it, but he lets it drop. A huge error by Rajah Davis. That's going to make it 5-0. Everything going wrong for the Blue Jays, not just in this game, but in this series. And now Adam Lean's in there with 2 outs in the 9th inning. George Wynn ready to close out this series. Runner on first. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Hit into right field. Going back, but caught. And Boston celebrates a sweep. They sweep the Blue Jays, winning 4 in a row. And honestly, folks, not even being tested. They took this series probably more easily than we saw any team do it. None of the games particularly close. Sad Sam Jones, a great game. He went all the way into the 9th inning, allowing nothing. He allowed 3 hits, struck out 3. Ozzie Vitt 2 for 3 with an RBI, and Wally Shang 3 for 5, the catcher, with an RBI. And it was Boston who wrapped it up. Cecil will take the loss. And 4-0, the 19 Red Sox get it done quite easily, we must say, in this series. Looking at some of the numbers, not much to speak of. Rajah Davis was hitting .333. He drove in 1, but he made a huge error there in Game 4. Rasmus and Johnson, 0 RBIs. You see the lack of runs altogether here from the Blue Jays. They only had, it looks like, 3 RBIs in the entire series. That is pretty amazing and tells you the type of pitching job that the Red Sox did. For the Blue Jays pitching, well, you can see here, other than the bullpen, a lot of the starters had problems. Brandon Morrow with an ERA over 9. Kyle Drabick over 11. Just not a good series. Brett Cecil struggled. Other than Carlos Villanueva, who actually got a start, who didn't allow anything, and Jason Frazier, it really went pretty fast down from there. A lot of the games were really Boston's for the taking. Boston offensively, Babe Ruth 400 for the series. He did hit a home run, 3 RBIs. Babe played well, but not a whole lot much more needed from him. Ozzie Vitt 308. You have here Stuffy McGinnis with 5 RBIs, even though his average is a little bit lower. And the Red Sox did just enough to take control of the series. The pitching was magnificent. Sad Sam Jones, he was 1-0 in his start. Ray Caldwell, 1-0 in his start, pitched well. Carl Mays, 1.42 ERA, and even Herb Pennock in his one start, he went into the 8th inning, 2.35 ERA for him. Boston cruises, no sweat whatsoever. Looking for MVPs. It looks like the game is going to choose Babe Ruth. Nothing spectacular from the Bambino, but he did start the series with that double in game 1 to get his team off to a rousing start. He had 3 doubles in the series, and then, of course, he hammered a long home run. I believe it was in game 2, so he had that homer. He did walk twice. He scored 5 runs. He had a 5.26 on base. So Ruth, a pretty good performance, but again, not much super needed from the Babe because the games were not all that close to begin with. You can see here 9-2, 7-1, 4-1, maybe the closest, and then the shutout in game 4 made it 5-0. So again, Boston running away from it. Very disappointing effort by the 12 Blue Jays. Hoping for a little bit more from them in this series. But that's a wrap. That will do it. Actually, also, the Jays only hit 1 home run the whole series. I think that in itself says the story that we need to hear. So that's a wrap in Series 160. You see the changes here. Hopefully you enjoy it. The presentation from Out of the Park Baseball 21. If you would like to see the presentation a little bit different, just go ahead and send us a message. Maybe you want another camera angle or something like that you prefer to see. I'm definitely always open to suggestions. But either way, the presentation is for your enjoyment and mine. Hope you're there enjoying it and getting the intrigue of these teams from the past coming to life and entertaining us. So that's a wrap. Series 160, definitely an easy one for the 1919 Boston Red Sox. They put away the 12 Blue Jays 4-0, doing it without much drama whatsoever. So that's it for now. We'll catch you very soon again. Series 160 is a wrap. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you very soon.